The news alert flashes nationwide power grid failure, cyber attacks suspected. In an instant, lights go out, hospitals scramble, markets freeze, and communication collapses. No soldiers, no bombs, yet a nation is paralyzed. This is 21st century conflict, invisible, digital, and devastating. The battlefield is now in the networks that run our world, fought with code, not bullets. Hackers and AI-guided drones are the new warriors, often far from the front lines. The very definition of war is being rewritten. From ancient hand-to-hand combat to remote-controlled strikes, the evolution of warfare is a story of relentless innovation. Each new weapon, from the longbow to the atomic bomb, has changed the rules and risks for everyone. Today, a drone pilot can strike across continents, then go home for dinner. This distance raises new ethical and psychological questions. The journey from muddy battlefields to digital warfare is a guide to understanding our world's new threats. For most of history, war was up close and personal. Now, a conflict can begin with a single keystroke. The separation between warrior and battlefield is greater than ever. As we trace this history, we'll see how each step led us to this moment of unprecedented technological power and risk. The story of war's evolution is not just about weapons, but about how societies adapt and change. Understanding this journey is key to facing the challenges ahead. The revolution in warfare affects us all, whether we realize it or not. The next battle may be fought in silence, but its impact will be felt everywhere. Welcome to the new age of conflict. Before engines and rifles, war was brutal and personal. Soldiers fought face to face, relying on muscle, courage, and steel. Generals led from the front, risking their lives alongside their men. Archers and cavalry added range and shock. But battles were still decided up close. Terrain, formations, and timing were everything. Communication was slow. Runners, horns, and flags. The Battle of Agincourt in 1415 showed how a simple technological edge, the longbow, could change history. Mud and arrows devastated the French, proving that innovation could trump numbers. War was seasonal, limited by food and weather. Armies were as large as a nation's farms could support. The line between soldier and civilian was often blurred, especially during sieges. But battles were fought by armies, not entire societies. This was a world powered by humans and animals, not machines. The scale and impact of war were limited until technology changed everything. The age of mechanized conflict was about to begin. The Industrial Revolution transformed war as much as it did society. Gunpowder weapons became accurate and deadly. Rifles replaced swords. Artillery shattered old tactics. Cavalry charges became suicide. Victory now depended on firepower and production, not just bravery. Railroads and telegraphs let nations move armies and supplies at unprecedented speed. War became a national effort, managed with industrial efficiency. The concept of total war emerged. Factories, railroads, and workers became targets. The line between battlefield and home front blurred. Societies mobilized everyone, men to fight, women to work. War was no longer distant, it consumed entire nations. The scale of conflict exploded, setting the stage for the world wars to come. Technology and industry had made war bigger, deadlier, and more all-encompassing. The world would never fight the same way again. The 20th century unleashed industrialized warfare's full horror. World War I's machine guns and trenches turned battlefields into slaughterhouses. Chemical weapons and tanks emerged, but stalemate reigned. Airplanes brought war to the skies, hinting at new forms of combat. World War II perfected these machines. Tanks, planes, and aircraft carriers dominated. Blitzkrieg tactics shattered old defenses. War became global and mobile. The atomic bomb ended the war and changed humanity forever. In two flashes, Hiroshima and Nagasaki revealed the power to destroy civilization. The world entered an age of fear where total destruction was possible. The lessons of total war were clear. Technology could now end everything. The Cold War's tense standoff was born from this terrifying potential. Mechanization had made war faster, deadlier, and more existential. The stakes had never been higher. The world would never be the same. After World War II, peace was elusive. The Cold War began. The US and USSR built vast nuclear arsenals, creating mutually assured destruction. Direct war was unthinkable, so they fought through proxies: Korea, Vietnam, Afghanistan. These conflicts were brutal but kept the superpowers from nuclear war. The arms race drove rapid advances: satellites, computers, precision missiles. The digital revolution in warfare began here. Psychological warfare and propaganda became key weapons. Espionage flourished. Spies, secrets, and sabotage shaped the era. The Cold War was fought as much with information as with bombs. Fear and suspicion defined daily life. Technology and ideology were the new battlegrounds. The world lived under the shadow of instant annihilation. The balance of terror kept the peace, barely. The Cold War's end brought new complex conflicts. Battlefields are now city streets, mountains, and cyberspace. Drones symbolize this era, striking from afar, changing the nature of risk. Cyber warfare lets attackers paralyze nations without firing a shot. Power grids, banks, and communications are all targets. The digital battlefield is silent but real. Asymmetric warfare pits major powers against smaller groups using unconventional tactics. Insurgents blend with civilians, use IEDs, and weaponize social media. Technology's advantage can become a liability in these shadowy wars. Artificial intelligence is the latest game changer, analyzing data, identifying targets, even operating weapons. Autonomous systems raise profound ethical questions. The pace of change is relentless, the risks unprecedented. The future battlefield is everywhere and nowhere. The evolution of warfare has reshaped global power. Once empires ruled with armies, later industry and nukes defined strength. Now power is measured by technology, cyber skills, and economic resilience. Small states and non-state actors can challenge superpowers. Hackers and terrorists wield global influence with minimal resources. The democratization of destruction makes the world unpredictable. Civilians suffer most, caught between insurgents and high-tech militaries. Precision weapons can still cause tragic mistakes. Psychological trauma and fear scar entire generations. Deterrence is more complex. How do you stop a cyber attack or a stateless enemy? Nations now blend defense, offense, and economic tools to deter threats. The line between war and peace is blurred. The human cost is higher than ever. The future of war is driven by AI and speed. Artificial intelligence will soon be central to military operations. Fully autonomous weapons could make life or death decisions without humans. Hypersonic missiles, fast, maneuverable, nearly unstoppable, threaten to upend strategy. The risk of rapid accidental escalation grows. Cyber warfare will become more destructive, targeting physical infrastructure. Space is the next battlefield. Satellites are now military targets. Disabling space assets could cripple economies and militaries. Advanced systems are vulnerable to hacking and glitches. Over-reliance on AI could lead to catastrophic mistakes. Decision-making timelines are shrinking. Leaders may have seconds to act. The risk of accidental war by algorithm is real. The ethical dilemmas are immense and urgent. The journey from swords to drones is a story of innovation and destruction. Each new weapon promised quicker, cleaner wars, but often brought more suffering. Technology has changed how we fight, but not why. For some, war is now remote and detached. For civilians, it's ever-present. The front line can be anywhere: a city, a server, a satellite. As we face AI, autonomous weapons, and space conflict, tough questions arise. Who is accountable when machines make mistakes? How do we prevent a technological arms race from spiraling out of control? These choices affect us all, shaping the world our children inherit. Technology is a tool. Its morality depends on us. Understanding war's evolution is essential to shaping a safer future. Only by learning from history can we hope to use our innovations for peace. The next chapter is ours to write.